Hey everybody, how's it going? Frig bud. It's fucking raining here in the middle of December, here in the middle of BFE, Wyoming. And, sitting in old Red here. She's had some work done to her lately. I thought about recording some of it, and I was just like, sorry, I just ate dinner. I was like, I ain't gonna record it. It's too much of a pain in the ass to try to friggin' jumble a camera around while I'm trying to, you know, work on shit and try to not kill myself. But basically, I'm just gonna do a little update here with what's going down with old Red, and I might just figure out a way here to set up the camera so I don't have to hold it. There you go. That's better. So basically, what's going on is old Red has had some problems recently, and I don't know if any of you really give a shit as to what's going down, and probably half of my subscriber base already knows because 90% of them are my friends that I know in, like, personal life. So, this is just going to be kind of a, talky video type deal. But, about, trying to get my timeline straight here. About 2 weeks ago, I pulled old Red into the shop. Just started doing some little odds and ends, just little stuff. And then I built a headache rack for it. And if I was actually decent at YouTube, I would edit a picture in, but I'm fucking retarded, so I can't. I might have my editor do that. Oh yeah, big shit coming up. Now I now have an editor. Okay? He's gonna start editing my videos. It's gonna be great. All this will really open up some stuff for me. He is one of my good friends, and we've got a way going back here. We're trying to make an actual thing out of this. So we got that. We got some bloopers videos, which are hilarious. They're in the makings. They're going to be great. Can't wait for you guys to see them, the whole 7 of you that are out there. And, yeah, and we're going to start doing some videos on All Red here. Start making her pretty and shit. Start putting some lipstick on this old turd. So, and maybe even actually having it run right, too. That would be a bonus. But, I went ahead and I was working on it, and fuck, I got people calling me. Okay, well, I'm back. I got Jackass here now. So, I can't remember where I was. I was talking about I got a director now, and, I got some better lighting. I turned that on. So, yeah, old Red, she's a work in progress, but we're gonna start doing some fun shit with it. First off, I'm gonna fix my door handles on her. The door handles, both sides on the inside, they're broken, clean, busted right half in two. The way the old Chevys were of this year, from like 95 or 96 when they went to this interior style, which is the newer OBS interior, up until 99 or early 2000 in some of the 2500s and 3500s. Jack, stop. Calm yourself. So, this buddy here, the door handles, like GM, they were screwed. The passenger's been screwed since I got the truck. Outside door handle needs changed. But, yeah. Oh, I think I was talking about some of the things that I did to this truck. Oh, yeah, the past 2 weeks, the timeline here. Okay, so, I got a timeline going, and so about 2 weeks ago, I just pulled it into the shop here, which is literally right next to me, and, Jack, stop, good boy. So, he's only like 8 months old. He's a puppy in training. So, the shop is sitting right next to me here. Just sitting right. I could get out of my truck, go over there and touch it, And, I pulled her into the shop, and everything was all, most of it was all hunky-dory. Just going in there for normal maintenance, checking my coolant, because I got a coolant leak. oil, checking that, checking my tranny fluid, which I'm going to change my transmission fluid. Probably won't get a video of it because it's not my shop, it's not my tools I'm using. I don't know how the guy that I'm going to, he's got a lift that I'm going to put this up on to go fucking, drain the Bruce Jenner fluid out of her and throw a new filter in and slap some new minty fluid in her. So, yeah, I probably won't get a video of that, but that's just the way she rolls. And as for the rest of it, she's getting pretty minty. I mean, what in the hell am I saying, dude? Really? Go back to your timeline. I really got to start scripting these videos. I really hope my editor can make these not such a piece of shit. So, Jack, sit. Good boy. So, Jack, stop. Good boy. Stay. Good boy. So, and we're probably gonna leave those in there. That's some funny shit. So 2 weeks ago, pulled it in for normal maintenance, and then I thought, I got this idea, and I might have him put a couple of pictures in somewhere of my headache rack that I built. I built me a headache rack for the back of my truck, and I'm sure you can't see it. The light's just not right for you to see it. But like I said, there'll be some pictures all over the screen everywhere here. I built a headache rack for it, and I was like, sweet. So then I put some lights on it. It's freaking great, So I built the headache rack, and I was like, all right, awesome. And then I started doing a couple little more odds and ends that needed to be done with the truck, just little shit. Like getting my CB antenna mount in place and all that shit. Getting it where it needs to be. And I still got to get a new coax for it and get my CB tuned, which my CB's right above the camera. I'm sure I could probably. CB's right there. I don't even know if you can see it. But yeah. I was just doing some little shit. And when I got to thinking, well, I really hate how my truck squats all the time, Like, it sits so damn low to the ground. I've tried leveling it out, and it still looks like shit, in my opinion. Now, I didn't want nothing huge, like no big 8-10 inch lift with super swamper 44 tractor tires or none of that shit. But, I wanted something a little bit out of the norm, just so you could differentiate it from the rest of the 75,000 red Chevrolet half-ton Z71s that are in Torrington, Wyoming. I didn't say Torrington. It's BFE, Wyoming, sorry. I'll have my editor take that out. So, there's like 7 or 8 trucks that look almost identical to mine running around town. And I just kind of want to make myself stand out so that when I have to be pulled over, they can just be like, yeah, it's this one. And I can get busted for it. Yeah, I'm retarded sometimes. That's the problem with making your truck unique. Then all the sheriffs and everybody in a small town, especially in a small town, know what your truck looks like and know who drives it and all that shit. But, oh well, you just don't do anything illegal or you just don't get caught. So, I was like, all right. Well, recently, one of my buddies, who is my editor, had his truck locked up. And it's a 1998 Chevy regular cab short box K1500, kind of like mine. It's just older and it's regular cab instead of extended. And so I was like, all right, can I have some parts off of it, because free parts, I mean, most of it's good except for the motor, but my motor's fine. And then tranny, well, it's done dickered, but I don't need a transmission yet. So, and if I do, it's going to get a 5-speed. I'm not putting another fucking 4L60E in it because I hate these automatic pieces of shit. I'd rather have a bolt action Bruce Jenner. Little shout out to Zip Ties and Bias Plies there. He's a fucking minty fucker. Him and Vice Grip Garage. But yeah. So I was like, okay, So I got the truck over here. Got everything, where it needed to be. Hey! Quit chewing up my fucking seats. Calm yourself. Just sit there and be a good boy. No, you don't need to talk to anybody. Good boy. So, we pull the truck over here. I get it set up on scissor jacks, the most sketchiest way possible, just begging to get the truck falling on me. It's great when you have to shit your pants every time you go underneath of a truck. So I got the springs out, and I think some of you might already know what I did. So I wanted a stiffer suspension in the rear end. So I took the spring packs out of that 88 Silverado. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a rough country thing here, and I'm going to take the springs out, trim them down, so that they fit in between my little keepers on the end, where your OEM springs are, so that they are shorter than that distance. And then, when I put my new U-bolts on, I might actually get a video of that, putting U-bolts on, and then I'll explain more in depth how I did this and what it all entailed, which it was a pain in the ass. Trying to get your axle line back up, boy, that's a bitch. So, what are we up to time-wise now? Holy fuck, 8 minutes. Man, I've been rambling on. So, anyways, I added 2 leaf springs on each side, which raised the ass end about 3 inches up in the air, and I was like, well, hell yeah, man. It looks retarded with the front end sitting on the ground, but oh well. So then I jacked up my front end, and it's probably got about 1.5 inches of rake. So it sits about as a stock 2500 wood, which that's what I was going for. I was going for a 2500 ride quality, which it's stiffer like I wanted, and a 2500, almost a 3/4 ton. Sorry, I keep calling it 2500. Almost a 3/4 ton rear suspension, which I don't know the engineering and all that bullshit that entails adding springs and making it a 3/4 ton spring pack and 3/4 ton rear end and all that shit. I know my 1/2 ton axle is not rated for 3/4 ton use, and me pulling a trailer as much as I do, it's probably going to shit the bed prematurely. But a little bit of squat mitigation is all I was trying to do here with these extra springs, and boy, let me tell you, she's quite a bit stiffer now. She's frozen right crock stiff, as AVE would say. Boy, I watch a lot of Canadians. Shit. So anyways, I put my springs in. I got that wrapped up last night. Still don't have my driver's license back. I can't remember if I already have a video up or not as to the story behind that. If not, then since all the legal shit's already out of the way, well, most of the legal shit's already out of the way, then I'll go ahead and say it, Go ahead and tell the story. And spin you all a tale of woe as to how I am no longer legal to drive. Well, until I get my driver's license back, but don't worry, it had nothing to do with any illegal substances, I'll just tell you that. So, oh fuck, god damn it, screw off, don't text me while I'm videoing, thank you. So, yeah, that's pretty much where it is. I mean, she's still looks pretty stock, still rides decently stock. It needs new shocks in it, I know that, because the ass end bounces like a frickin'... Sorry, I've got young ears, I can't say that in front of him. So anyways, rear end just bounces up and down like a frickin' giddy school kid in front of a pair of tits. But, it is the way it is. I need to get new shocks for the rear end and the front end. If I really want to go, boy howdy, full retard, I can put 2,500 torsion bars in instead of my 1/2 ton torsion bars. Why do I keep... 3/4 ton torsion bars instead of my 1/2 ton torsion bars. And that will lift my front end up a little bit, but I'm also almost maxed out on my bump stops. I've got about 1/4 of an inch gap in between my upper control arm and my bump stop, and I really don't want to get much closer than that. That's about all the closer I want to get, because the higher you get any higher than that, and it starts screwing with your CV angles, and I've already got some shitty CV angles, and my ball joints don't really like where they want to be, and it's definitely not good on anything, and it'll go ahead and wallow everything out right before it's supposed to. it's just something I guess you have to deal with when you crank your doors and keys and jack up your truck. I mean, none of that stuff comes without a cost, but it's is the way it is, you know. I mean, if you're gonna do it, I guess you better be willing to pay the price. And at this point, I'm willing to pay the price. I don't know if I will be when I actually have to change the bullshit, but I am right now. So, yeah. Oh, and I figured out why my truck had a shitty idle and no power once it hit overdrive. It turns out, and I still have the distributor, the original. I think this is the OEM distributor on the truck too. It looks factory. It's got the plastic, all the plastic bullshit on it. If you know about OEM distributors on these year trucks, you'll know that they're built out of plastic and nothing but, except for the shaft that goes down, that hold, or the housing that goes down to hold your shaft that goes to your camshaft to time your distributor. Well, everything except for that housing and that shaft is all made of plastic, which, in my opinion, is a whole load of bullshit, because plastic has a tendency to crack. And when you crack plastic, it lets go of stuff. Well, it turns out that piece of shit plastic distributor that was on it cracked on the rear ear that holds the distributor cap on. You know, you got two screws that screw down and hold the distributor cap on. Jack, sit down. Jack. Hey, sit down. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Good boy. So, the ears that those screws thread into that hold the distributor cap down. Stop. Good boy. Ears that those screws thread into that hold the distributor cap down. The one that was closer to the firewall broke. And then it was causing, my screw started to walk out, and it was causing my distributor cap to bump up and down and miss holes and arc across holes. And when I put my new set of plugs in, I gapped it like every other 350 I've ever seen and just put 35 thousandths gap in it, which was completely wrong. And I know plenty of you are laughing at me for that, because you probably have enough head out of your ass to know that you're supposed to gap them to 60 thousandths. And so, yeah, I re-gapped my plugs. It kind of smoothed it up a little bit. Not a whole hell of a lot. And then I put a new distributor in it. And this distributor is full aluminum cast with obviously a plastic distributor cap, but they've always been plastic. But it's got brass crush bushings in there to keep that plastic ear from cracking on the distributor cap. So it's a way better built distributor. I am thoroughly loving it, man. Timing it was kind of a bitch. It still has a rough start. You got to pump it, but you've always had to do that. But now it idles beautifully. Everything's great. Yeah. So there's a little tip for you. And don't forget to plug your cam sensor back in and your PCV, because that will make it run like shit. I figured that out the hard way. So, yeah, there's a little tip for you. If your truck's running like hell, check your spark plug gap. Clean your plugs. If your plugs are shitty, put new plugs in it. If that doesn't fix it, then check your distributor. That ear might be cracked, and it could be causing your distributor cap to walk all over the place, which is what mine was doing. But anyways, yeah, thanks guys for tuning in and listening to my jackass ramble on for about 16 minutes and 20 seconds. 20 seconds now. So yeah, there's Jackass. I'm Skeeter. You already know it. And yeah, tune back in. I got some lights headed this way. Brighten this thing up a little bit more. Give her a new taste of fresh air. And yeah, we might figure out some other stuff. Like I said, I'm changing my tranny fluid and all that shit. So yeah. Stay tuned in if you want. If not, then there's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass. Well, what the fuck? Huh, that was weird. I don't know if that came up on camera. It just sounded all fucking weird. Oh shit, my camera's about to die. So we'll talk to you guys later. As always, have a minty one. Remember, rubber side down, metal side most of the way up, and have a minty one. Well, I already said that. Oh yeah, don't cut your fingers off. Have a good fucking night, guys. We'll see y'all.